This edition of PewterPirates.com brought to you by House of Brews Tavern and Grill. More than beer, House of Brews gives you great food and always great fun. And speaking of food and fun, we'd like to thank our co-title sponsor, Sea Dog Brewing Company. Its Clearwater location and its Treasure Island Brewery by the beach boast the exclusive combo of giving its patrons a New England brewery complemented by a golf-inspired menu. Oh, we appreciate you logging on to PewterPirates.com, everybody, and we appreciate our title sponsors, House of Brews and Sea Dog Brewing Company. Great brews, great food, great service. Well, when you talk about the Bucs, and then there was one final preseason game left, but still a lot to talk about. Check out our jam-packed menu. We check in with Bucs head coach Dirk Koetter and have him compare the competition for this team compared to his first 2 years here in Tampa. One of the most competitive spots is a wide receiver. We check in with the guy right in the middle of the competition, rookie wideout Justin Watson. We also have a nice one-on-one with starting running back Peyton Barber, and we check in with animated defensive line coach Brenston Buckner. It's the preseason, and PewterPirates.com is next. Well, welcome back to PewterPirates.com, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Neighbors. Well, down the stretch we go in this Buccaneer preseason. The last preseason game Thursday night in Raymond James Stadium against those Jacksonville Jaguars. Not a lot of suspense in this one as the starters will sit out, and not as many roster spots as we've seen available in past years, but there are still some angles, beginning at the quarterback position. Now, Jameis Winston, despite being suspended for the first 3 games, will not play in the Bucs' final preseason game, meaning a lot of the snaps will go to this guy. Third-string quarterback, well, now second-string quarterback, Ryan Griffin, along with fourth-stringer Austin Allen. I had a chance to ask Dirk Koetter about the talent level on this team compared to past years. Dirk, you've added a lot of pieces since you've been a head coach here. Is this football team harder to make than it was 3 years ago, or can you compare? Can you compare that at all?
You really don't think of it like that. I mean, you just think of right now. So, I mean, if we really went back and looked at it, and then the other thing is all positions are different. You know, some positions are better than others right now. Then injuries always factor into it, where we're thin and when we're not. So, I mean, we definitely have a more talented team at the top, and at some positions, definitely harder.
So Dirk Koetter definitely likes the talent on this football team, especially at wide receiver, where you could make a case the Bucs might have the best collection of targets in the NFL. But ironically, the last few targets on this team may be the best competition in this final preseason game. You have the likes of Bernard Reedy, Freddie Martino, and how about Justin Watson, the last guy off the practice field routinely during training camp. You see him getting some reps with fourth-string quarterback Austin Allen. Watson has caught a touchdown pass this preseason. He's been steady, but knows there is still work to do. How do you feel about your status on this team, and what do you have to do in this last preseason game?
Yeah, it's constant battle, and it's been a great, healthy competition throughout camp. That's what I keep describing it as. It's healthy, but it's been great. And this last preseason game, just keep doing what I've been doing. You know, improving each day in practice, improving each preseason game. Go out there, do my job on offense, and do my job on all the special teams.
Definitely a big game coming up against the Jacksonville Jaguars for Bucs wideout Justin Watson. Well, Peyton Barber, he won't see the field against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but when we've seen him this preseason, he has delivered, especially in that dress rehearsal. He was so good on that first drive against the Detroit Lions. Dirk Koetter had seen enough and pulled him the rest of the game. Recently, I had a chance to catch up with the Bucs starting tailback and talk about a number of subjects, including him being the guy entering the season. Just talk about this training camp for you. A significant role in this football team. How do you feel like camp went?
I feel like it went good overall. I feel like I was able to show a lot of the skills that I have, and I feel like I have a little bit more that I have to show also.
You're a guy who wasn't drafted, and now you're the leading running back in this football team. I know you appreciate the journey to get to this point.
Oh yeah, most definitely. God is good. It's crazy just to see how far He's taking me and how much further He is going to take me. So.
Did you ever think you'd get this opportunity? I mean, it's been a long road for you.
At the end of the day, deep down inside, I felt like I would. You do all things but fail, so.
Of course, you've had to buy your time. How do you feel like you've matured as a running back that you can handle the lion's share of the load for this football team?
I feel like I've matured in all aspects of my game. Pass protection, running the ball, pretty much everywhere. So.
They draft the running back second-round Ronald Jones, kind of a different change of pace. And you see in New Orleans and a lot of NFL teams, you need the complementary running back. How do you feel like he's coming along? I know he's had some rookie rough spots, as everybody does.
Yeah.
I'm sure you try to help him along the way a little bit too.
Most definitely. I try to help him as if I was trying to help myself. He's a lot further along than I was my rookie year. So I know Ronald is definitely, he's a special back. So.
Is there anybody you kind of pattern your game after at all?
I try to pattern my game after Walter Peyton. That's my all-time favorite running back. So.
In terms of running hard, breaking tackles, just finally, just talk about moving forward this season. Having the kind of role you've never had before. It seems like you've worked hard in the offseason to prepare for this. Can you be that every down back for the Bucs?
Most definitely. I think I can, and I think I will. If the opportunity is given to me. Yeah.
With all the wide receivers on this team, the tight ends are so talented. You feel a running game, boy, this offense could be dangerous, couldn't it?
Oh, yeah. We have so many weapons on our offense and on our defense. I feel like we have a great opportunity to do something special this year.
You can't help but root for a Peyton Barber, a guy who wasn't drafted, really had to earn his way to where he is today. And with rookie running back Ronald Jones kind of struggling this preseason, Peyton Barber will get a lot of attention in this season. We'll see how he deals with it in the coming weeks. Well, if you haven't logged on to pewterpirates.com in the past month plus, you got to check out all the interviews we've given you. Yeah, we've had exclusive one-on-one interviews plus a rookie diary with up-and-comer MJ Stewart. Stewart's been injured the past couple weeks, so his fellow rookies Carlton Davis and most recently wide receiver Justin Watson filled in. And we've also had a fun segment called Got a Minute, where we ask Buccaneer players as many questions as we can within a minute. O.J. Howard was the leader, and he's the most recent segment, so check that out. Well, in the on-deck circle, defensive line coach Brenston Buckner, he's animated, and we have him one-on-one. There are a lot of neighborhood bars, but there is only one.
House of Brews!
It's now better than ever, freshly remodeled with a new U-shaped bar, where it's clear everybody's having fun at the
House of Brews!
Armed with a full liquor and wine selection, House of Brews houses a large selection of brews. But come on, this place is more than brews. The food takes it to a whole different level. A fresh daily scratch menu serves up a wide variety of favorites, leaving customers always satisfied at the
House of Brews.
Not your average neighborhood bar. Oh, it's so much more. Welcome back to PewterPirates.com, everybody. Well, when you look into the crystal ball of this 2018 season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the most improvement obviously should be on the defensive side of the football. Look at the acquisitions from Jason Pierre-Paul to Vinnie Curry to Bo Allen. It goes on and on and on. And then you throw in the very animated first-year defensive line coach Brenston Buckner. Yeah, the former player is fiery, not afraid to get in anybody's face. And I had a chance to recently catch up with him one-on-one and talk about his mindset and his D-line. Just talk about the attitude it seems like you've brought to this defense. I know you're vocal during practice, and it seems like it's had an effect here.
Yes, I only know one way to play this game. This is a violent, competitive game, so you got to have a violent, competitive mindset. I'm a firm believer you can never practice off and play hard. You give your body conflicting stories. So if you play an intense sport, and the stadium gets more intense than practice, so you got to force that intensity in practice. And that's just in my DNA, and it comes from just the guys I played with and the teams I played for. I was blessed to play with the Kevin Greens, the Greg Lords, guys that were more known for their tenacity more so than their skills. They were great players. And I've seen how that forged them into athletes. So I think I'm a conduit to bring that to these young guys.
You're a fiery guy, but it seems like you have a kindred spirit in Jason Pierre-Paul. I mean, you came on board before he did, and I talked to the players, and they just love the way that he practices, and they said it's been contagious on this team.
Yeah, it is contagious, and that just goes to go. He came in up under some Justin Tuck, OCU Manure, guys that had won a Super Bowl already and knew how to work. So he's been raised the right way since a rookie, and now he's coming in, and it's something new for these guys. He knows how to be a professional. And then you throw in the fact that this game was almost taken away from him. And the one thing he talks about is his passion for the game, laying in the hospital bed, not knowing Am I going to get a chance to play again? So he doesn't take it for granted. A lot of times we'll take stuff for granted. Oh, we make money, we're on the team. But it's something that happens to you that it could be going the blink of the eye that makes you appreciate what you're doing. And his appreciation shows in the way he carries himself and the way he plays.
You have 2 preseason games left, but training camp is pretty much over. How much have you seen this defense grow in training camp?
Well, you being close to it, you really don't see the growth because you're in it. Yeah. You're in the dirt with them and you're grinding. But what I have seen is guys just take a different approach here and there. But the growth is going to be seen on the outside when you're done, when you look back at the end of the season and see what you've invested. Just talking to the defensive line, when you forge who you're going to be in training camp. You don't know how good your training camp went until you get to the end of the season. It's just like going to the store. You want to go to the store and buy all this stuff, but you don't have no money on your debit card, you can't get nothing. If you ain't put enough into your bank account when you step in those stadiums on Sunday, you ain't going to have enough to get a win. You ain't going to have enough to have a winning season. So that's when I look at the end of the year, how did we finish? Oh, we was 10-6. Oh, we did not enough. It did good. It was better than last year. Oh, we 3-13. We didn't do enough. So right now we still grinding. We won't know what we done did until the end because it's going to be a growing process every day. The guys just got to be willing to be better than the guy they was the day before.
It's hard not to be fired up when you're around this guy. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
All right. Fun talking to that defensive line coach. The Bucs D-line getting upgrades in so many areas this offseason. Well, we're going to wrap up this show right after this. Now, you want a drinking and dining experience like no other in Tampa Bay? Well, Sea Dog Brewing Company is the place for you. Its Treasure Island location gives its patrons a beautiful waterfront view with 6 brand new boat slips and more to come. This Sea Dog location has a great selection with local brews, all made in clear water, and the specials. You have daily happy hour Monday through Friday from 2 to 6. Mug Club Monday features $6 mules. Taco Tuesdays are always popular, but don't pass up the $9.99 Fish Fry Thursdays. And on the weekends, enjoy a Sea Dog Brewery Sunday brunch by the beach. So check out Sea Dog Brewery at Treasure Island, 9610 Gulf Boulevard, Treasure Island, Florida, 727-954-7805. We're back here on pewterpirates.com. If you don't get enough in our video updates, you got to log on to our website because we have a podcast as well. It's called A Few Extra Bucks. Yeah, a few extra takes on your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's myself, along with Roy Cummings. We have interviews with coaches and players in this regular season coming up. We're going to have guests behind enemy lines, a take on who the Bucs are going to play from the beat writers from the different teams during the season. In addition to the podcast, we also have a YouTube site, Pewter Pirates. So log on to that. You can see past one-on-one interviews and segments we've done. Well, for our title sponsors, House of Brews and Sea Dog Brewing Company, I'm Mike Neighbors. Thanks for logging on to pewterpirates.com.